The law of demand is essentially the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, meaning that as quantity increases, price is going to decrease, giving you that slanted downward slope. Whereas if price were to increase, quantity is then going to decrease. So out of the two different types of movements that can happen along a curve, there can be a shift in demand or a movement along the actual curve. A shift in demand is the movement of the whole line from either right or left, right meaning an increase in demand, and left meaning a decrease in demand. Whereas a movement along the curve usually occurs because there's an increase in the price of the product itself, like the product in the market. So it can either shift up along this line to like this point up here, or it can shift down. So like I mentioned before, an increase in demand is going to be when the line moves to the right, and a decrease in demand is going to be when the line moves to the left. So the determinants of demand include 5 different categories that can actually shift the demand line from left to right. So beginning with tastes and preferences, this is essentially what the consumers are into or what they like. So for the example I have is a really famous influencer posted a picture wearing these t-shirts, the t-shirts being the product sold in the market. So since this is going to become something probably really famous off of that event, the t-shirts are going to swing the demand from left to right, causing an increase in the price as it's going from here to here, or like going up, and from here to here in quantity, so from left to right, which indicates an increase in the quantity. Moving on to the number of consumers, this is just basically how many people are there to buy the actual product. So for the example I have is t-shirts are sold in a really small town. Since it's a really small town, the population of consumers will likely be smaller, meaning that the demand itself isn't likely going to be as big as it could be in somewhere with a higher population. So the demand curve or the demand line is going to be shifted from here to the left, signaling a decrease. So this is going to cause a decrease in the price because it's moving down, and a decrease in the quantity because it's also moving from right to left. So for future expectations, this is how, if consumers know that in the possible future the prices are going to be upped or lowered. So the example I had was Black Friday is coming up next week, meaning that the demand is actually going to dip the week before Thanksgiving week because they know that the prices are going to be lowered. So they're not going to want to buy everything that could be bought later at a much lower price. So here the demand line is going to shift to the left, and the original price is going to move down or decrease, and the original quantity is going to move left or also decrease. So moving on to the price of related goods, any related good could be either a complement or a substitute of this market good, and essentially if the price is increased or decreased, that could have an effect on the demand of the t-shirts themselves. So the example I had was if crop tops, a substitute for t-shirts, recently began going viral. So since this substitute is crop tops and the demand is likely going to increase for crop tops, people are going to stop buying t-shirts, or the demand is going to go down for t-shirts because people are obviously investing more into crop tops. So the demand line is going to shift to the left, and there is going to be a decrease in price, as you can see, as it's going down, and a decrease in quantity because it's going left. So out of the last ones is income. So this is just how much people are making, and whether they would likely want to buy a certain good based on whether their income is higher or lower. So for t-shirts, a sudden increase in income would signal a increase in demand because more people have more money to buy it. So it's going to shift to the right, and this is going to cause an increase in the price because it's shifting up, and an increase in the quantity because it's shifting to the right.